Now, some news coming into us. An emergency meeting of SNP politicians has been taking place within the last hour. It follows the arrest of the party's treasurer, Colin Beattie. It's all in connection with the ongoing investigation into the party's funding and finances. It comes 2 weeks after the former SNP chief executive, Peter Murrell, Nicola Sturgeon's husband, was also arrested. We go live to Holyrood and find out more. Our Scotland correspondent Conor Gillis is standing by. Conor, what more details can you give us about this emergency meeting?
Yeah, another very, very difficult day for the SNP. That arrest this morning of its treasurer, Colin Beattie, that, of course, comes in the wake of the 11-hour detention that Peter Murrell faced, the former chief executive, who was in power within the SNP for decades. So these two high-profile arrests have emerged over the course of the last couple of weeks, the latest today. And yes, that emergency meeting of SNP MSPs here in Edinburgh at the Scottish Parliament, meeting face-to-face to question the First Minister, their new leader, Humza Yousaf, as part of what has been a very difficult time. They, I'm told, were facing questions, were answering a number of questions. The First Minister was tackling those head-on, and the mood within that room was fairly downbeat, but also resolutely behind what the First Minister has been saying. Clearly, this is a live police investigation, and that has been the line coming from Scotland's First Minister today. But let's remember, this is an investigation that centres on £600,000 that was raised for the cause of a second Scottish independence vote. And there have been questions around the finances and the fundraising of the SNP, and that has been a long-running police investigation that culminated in that arrest and later release of Peter Murrell a number of weeks ago, and then the arrest today of Scotland's, the SNP's treasurer as well. Let's remember, I'm just keeping an eye out because politicians are making their way into the chamber here. There is due to be a high-profile announcement by the First Minister. Let's hear dip into what the Labour leader, Anna Sarwar, is saying.
This is a political party that is mired in scandal, mired in corruption, engulfed in this crisis, and at a time when our country needs true leadership. It needs a government focused on the twin crisis of the NHS crisis and the cost of living crisis. They are too busy talking to themselves about themselves. And I think in 3 short weeks, we already have a lame duck First Minister and a lame duck government.
It was a gift for Labour, though.
Look, we have to rise to the opportunity. I think people across this country are crying out for change. We now have to demonstrate how we will be that change.
You're live on Sky News at the moment, Anna Sarwar. What do you make of the signals that this sends out to the public at the moment?
Well, I think it's clear for everyone to see that the culture of command and control we've seen for 16 years, the culture of secrecy and cover-up, is now engulfing not just the SNP, but has engulfed government for 16 years, with devastating consequences. And at a time when our country needs that new hope for the future, it needs new energy, new ideas, a new vision, that's not going to come from the SNP, it's not going to come from Humza Yousaf. After 3 weeks, we already have a lame duck First Minister and a lame duck government. And that's not good for our country. OK, thanks very much indeed. That is the Labour leader, Anna Sarwar, there live on Sky News. Now, they are entering the Holyrood chamber here because in just a matter of moments, Scotland's new First Minister, Humza Yousaf, is going to be delivering his first major parliamentary speech where he will be laying out his priorities and his policies for the years ahead. Clearly, that has been derailed by this major announcement today from Police Scotland. And just a short while ago, we heard from Mr Yousaf himself. Let's take a listen.
Have you suspended him from the party or the group?
I've said already that people are innocent until proven guilty. That's the premise.
Will you take him off the Public Audit Committee in the meantime?
Look, again, I'll consider that. I'll have to speak to Colin Beattie. My understanding is he's still in the police station being questioned. Clearly, when he's off that, I'll need to have a word with Colin, not about the live police investigation. We can't speak about the detail of that. But clearly, there are pertinent issues around his role, Public Audit Committee, and his role, of course, as the National Treasurer.
Are you surprised that he's been arrested?
Well, yes, of course I'm surprised when one of my colleagues has been arrested, but you know, it's a very serious matter indeed.
Does this threaten to derail what you're talking about here in Parliament this afternoon?
Certainly is not helpful. Of course, I wanted to, and I will, I'm still determined, of course, to articulate what my vision is as a new leader and a fresh start for the government. So I'll still do that, of course, at 20 minutes past 2, and I hope that we can move on to speak about those issues.
Now, unlike the hive of police activity that we witnessed just a number of weeks ago at the home of Peter Murrell and Nicola Sturgeon, Scotland's former First Minister, that tent that was erected in the front lawn, the masses of detectives that set foot on that property, that has not been the case at the home of Colin Beattie, who is a serving member of the Parliament that I am in just now. No police activity at his property, no police activity that we could see at his constituency office as well. Let's remember, this is live pictures we're viewing just now of MSPs taking their seats within the chamber here ahead of that statement from the First Minister amid this backdrop of a very testing time and a live police investigation.
OK, well, when the First Minister gets to his feet in Holyrood, we will bring it to you live here on Sky News. Connor, for the moment, thank you.